Today's my first day as a rice farmer in northern Ghana. I'm a long way from home and a long way from the smart offices of Western companies and organisations. I'm here to find out if their policies are behind what I'm about to experience. But first, I need a wash and brush up.
Got to admit though, it is a bit smelly around here. This little shower place here. But then again, I've been into many a musky shower in my day.
Don't they use it as a urinal as well?
Do they?
I think so.
Oh right, okay, that would probably explain the smell. It is a bit fresh, as they say.
Next, I haggle over my wages. We agree on 20,000 cedis. That's £1 a day, nearly double the average national daily income in Ghana.
I'll be knackered after 5 minutes. That's my biggest worry, is that these guys are really skilled at doing this stuff. They know how to do it. This isn't just a case of being out here in the heat, it's also the fact that I just haven't done a great deal of manual labour, which says a lot, doesn't it, really?
My first job is to clear some scrubland to make way for a new rice field. The ground is rock hard and the axes have thick metal handles to absorb the shock. They weigh a ton.
How was that?
There's a lot to do, isn't there? You've got to clear all of this. Yeah. I'm knackered. I'm knackered after 10 minutes.
As we work, the farmers tell me about the destruction of rice farming. Up until the 1980s, the Ghanaian government handed out grants for fertilizer and machinery. Then the IMF and World Bank moved in and put a stop to state subsidies. The new mantra was the free market and privatization. The farmers were back to square one.
Ah, man. Look at me, it's terrible, isn't it? The men are working there, I'm here with the kids. Thank God it's Friday, because they only work a fraction of the day because I have to go to the mosque for prayers. If it wasn't for that, I'd be completely fried out here. So my first day of work has been cut short. I think that's divine intervention.
In the evening, I'm still recovering, but I need my wages. I haven't managed anything like a full day's work, and I've only carried 1 bucket of water.
They will pay you 5,000 cedis.
5,000 cedis?
For the work you did today.
5,000 cedis. 25 pence for my hour's work today. So that's 25p an hour I'm making at the moment. Okay, right. It's going to be hard for me to juggle my food, water. Oh, that's a point. What about the water? I bought some water. I bought some water. I bought some water. Come on, you're trying to do me out of my earnings. Do me out of my money, man.
How do you feel about the way that they've calculated your worth?
I think they've been completely fair. I think they've been fair. I can only last for an hour out there in the heat. I tried to Skype and pretend I was working, but they saw through it. I'd contemplated setting up a little union to try and drive up the wages, but nobody was on my side for that one. But it's fair. It's fair. I can't see how in this modern day and age we would subject people to this kind of livelihood just to make our part of the world richer. It just doesn't make any sense. You know, it is impoverishment. We're screwing them and the other people are screwing them. It's not something they've brought on themselves or willed or concocted or an act of God or some kind of misfortune. It's a calculated political process. It was a pretty rough old night, just sleeping on the floor, but they actually feel that for anybody to be living on their level of subsistence is terrible. It just makes it really difficult to actually try to live on subsistence because they don't want you to.
The people in Birima have been too kind to me. They're just managing to produce enough to feed themselves and don't really have any spare cash for my wages. So I head for nearby Batanga, where the government and the World Bank set up an irrigation project. I've heard that thanks to the dam, the farmers here are growing enough rice to sell commercially, so perhaps a Brummie labourer can get a decent wage.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Robert Beckford.
Robert.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, Nashiru.
I meet up with two local rice farmers, Nash and Lancer.
What's a day's pay out here for a good labourer?
10,000 cedis a day.
10,000 cedis a day?
Yes.
That's less than what I was making at the on the farm.
In our environment here,
Yeah.
this is how the quantity. This is
10,000
the amount we
cedis.
pay. Yes.
I guess the subsistence farmers have been really generous to me. I guess this is much more like the realistic rate that people get paid, 10,000 cedis a day.
That's about 50p. Nash and Lancer are able to sell a bit of rice, but they're hardly rolling in cash. As we work, they tell me something which leaves me gobsmacked. In the 1980s, as part of their strategy to open up the Ghanaian market, the American government supplied rice as food aid. It was like sending snow to Eskimos.
Rice as food aid?
Food aid. In the secondary schools, they were given foreign rice.
So hold on a minute, they're giving you aid, but they're giving you rice when you're already farming rice.
65% of the population in Ghana are into farming.
It's so hold on, but that doesn't make sense.
Contradiction.
Along with the sweetener of food aid, the IMF, the World Bank and the Americans told the Ghanaian government to cut subsidies to farmers and open up its markets to foreign imports. The food aid tailed off. Cheap foreign rice flooded in and Ghana's rice production stagnated.
Doesn't that make you angry? Because this to me seems nothing more than a kind of economic imperialism.
I used to tell even government officials and even outsiders that if Osama bin Laden comes here and he wants people, he will get them more. And you shouldn't be shocked to see even small children wearing his t-shirts. Because we feel we have been cheated, pushed to the wall. We are dying. And somebody is hitting the West. So we feel he's doing something in our favor.
Sympathy for Osama bin Laden.
That's chilling. It may seem like an extreme opinion, but what Nash is saying is that Western economic policies are driving Africans to the wall. Boss, can I have my wages, please?
Yeah. Today you are working half day, so I'm paying you half.
Half.
Half of the
That's
bowl.
fine. That's fine. I reckon I can make money by now selling the rice at the market.
It seems cruel to me that the IMF and the World Bank told Ghana to axe subsidies to its rice farmers, whilst the American government pays as much as 72% of their own farmers' production costs.
Scales of justice. Justice premium white rice. Double polished. And it's a product of the United States.
We don't sell the local rice.
You don't sell the local rice?
Yes.
Personally, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the American rice?
The American one is somehow delicious.
Delicious?
Yes.
Delicious. It tastes nicer
Yes.
than the local rice.
Yes.
Hardly surprising American rice tastes delicious when you consider how many millions of dollars of subsidies the government throws at it. Finally, tucked away in a corner, I tracked down some local producers trying to sell gritty homegrown rice.
Ask her how much would she give me for a bag of rice?
One bowl, 10,000 cedis.
One bowl,
10,000.
10,000 cedis. How many bowls does she think this will be?
This is half a bowl.
Okay, 5,000 cedis. Tell her I'm going to go and burn all the American rice today.
No, you are assuming tossing kafma zak in your dad.
Joking apart, I think it's a scandal. The IMF claim that poverty has been reduced in Ghana and that the economy is growing at 6% per year. But from what I've seen here, it seems to me that IMF and World Bank policies have undermined Ghanaian rice production and reduced hundreds of villages to abject poverty.